Good morning, bros. I'm Zach Cantrell.
And I'm Isaac Pribble.
Welcome to the Bro Channel. Today's top story focuses on tensions over social equality rising over across America.
And now, to our on-scene reporter, Mr. Sweet.
Thank you, Isaac and Zach. I'm here from Montgomery, Alabama. With social tensions rising by the day, African Americans are revolting against the Jim Crow laws and literacy tests with violence and anger. In detail, ever since the African Americans were given the 15th Amendment, Southern slaves have been requiring unjust literacy tests as a way to keep them from practicing it. In addition, white people across America have been segregating out colored minorities and taking away some of the basic rights due to laws. Because of this new discrimination in the states, blacks have found a solution in simply trying to better themselves in industrial education to try and make enough wealth to succeed in the states. This is Mr. Sweet from the Bro Channel. Now here's an interview from earlier today. Mr. Sir, as a newly freed African American man, can you tell me a little about your day-to-day life and practice of the amendments?
Yes. Mr. Sweet, if I say so myself, life is quite difficult for me and my community right now. It seems that we have to go day to day to deal with racial injustice.
Damn, bro, that's rough. So how has the black community and social equality groups have been fighting against that injustice?
Well, Mr. Sweet, I gotta say we have been fighting against the racial inequality with education and literacy improvements every day, but it seems we're getting nowhere. But somewhere is better than nowhere, and it will take time, but we will get our equal rights on social equality in America.
Well, thank you, brother. It's been nice talking to you, and truly hope everything works out for you guys. Once again, this is Mr. Sweet with once again a sweet report. Back to you, Isaac and Zach.
Thank you, Mr. Sweet. Looking mighty fresh today, my dad. Now reporting from the Bro Channel headquarters in Portland, Oregon with breaking news. Reporting from my colleague, Zachary, reports of violence against Negroes have arose all over the country, but today we'll be mainly focusing on some accounts of cruelty and damage towards the black community in Atlanta, Georgia. Now with report, off to you, Zach.
Thank you, Isaac. New accounts of lynching against African Americans have been reported to have risen over the past 20 years. With white supremacy groups such as the Ku Klux Klan still under operation in the South, black communities and families are endangered. As it seems racial injustice is rising by the day, and angry white men taking out anger on homes in black communities with acts of burning and destroying their property and way of life. The colored community is fighting harder than ever to make it in the new America. With our country and government still at its first state of government and law enforcement, blacks are trying to solve matters of violence in court and with protests against whites. Sadly, progress is slow, but at least it's getting somewhere.
Wow, that's some deep stuff, bro. Well, let's go live on the scene with Martavius Willisford to report from a local black...
Thank you, Isaac. I'm here with Trayvon Liddell in Frankfort, Kentucky. Mr. Liddell, what kind of violences have the black community been facing lately?
Well, Mr. Willisford, we have had to deal with a number of lynchings and house attacks in the recent years.
Wow, Mr. Liddell. And how have you been dealing with these issues?
Well, just like the issues of segregation, we have been protesting against the whites and fighting it in court.
Well, sounds like you're getting somewhere at least. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have with you, Trayvon. Back to you, Isaac and Zach. As our broadcast is coming to an end, we have Mr. Sweet back at the Bro Channel newsroom to help with our concluding report.
Well, hello, Zach, Isaac. It's good to be back, I must say.
Yeah. In final, let's look at how social equality has changed our community today and changed itself.
Yes. If one thing is clear, guys, it's hats off to the black community for all the progress they've made. Due to the protests and long hours in court, our nation has come a long way. As Jim Crow laws, or segregation, have officially been abolished and racial and social tensions are gone, African American success is at large in all regions of America.
Well said, Zach. Not to mention, our country is just seems its first African American president.
Wow, guys, looks like progress was slow, but it moved in a long way.
You got that right, Isaac. And our country really would not be where it is today industrial if it weren't for the African American mindset of the technical hands of education that helped us build the states.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have today, but we sure hope you learned something about social equality. Reporting from the Bro Channel World Headquarters in Portland, Oregon, I'm Isaac Pribble.
I'm Zach Cantrell.
And I'm Mr. Sweet.
And this is the Bro Channel.
Hey!
Hey!
Bet.
Let's get it!